This style of format is the way bass fishing should be, in my opinion. Professional level. When I see him do something, I can do something to counter. It's the way it should be. Is it good for our hearts? No, but it is. It's the way that it should be. It's neat to know that I have what I have, and I know what he needs to do to beat me.
You're making the water back here so muddy they're having a hard time seeing my lure.
Dave Lefebre left Richland Creek. He traveled about 10 minutes north on Chickamauga Lake, burned 10 minutes off the clock, but he's in the back of a big flat creek, big open expansive creek, and he's throwing a jig. Fish on.
We'll get in here.
Keeper, number 4 for Dave Lefebre.
He's a fatty too. They're so healthy here. Tiger bass. You know, I had a little bit odd thing going on where I was throwing a bait that a lot of the locals aren't fishing, which is a jig, which is surprising maybe to some people, but I just decided to really spend a lot of time fishing off of the deeper edges, and I just slide up on that mud where there was nothing and just, you know, it's neat. Those are the kind of things that you win tournaments like this, when you can find something weird like that, and I call that pretty weird.
Fish on. Another keeper. This will be number 5 if he can get it in the boat. Yep. Number 5 for Dave Lefebre if it measures, and I think it's going to.
Gonna be close.
I would say he's a keeper.
Close as they get right there, I guarantee it.
You know, when you're in the back of a creek like that and the water's in the 60s, you've got fish that are trying to spawn and they're moving up there looking around. They really wasn't holding on the cover because the cover was a little bit shallow, but they were just out in front of it, and you know, that's a really good pattern, and he put it together and pretty much put on a show up there.
Fish on. It's a big one. 1 minute left in the half. And Dave Lefebre boats bass number 6. That will definitely call.
Don't forget the 1, Randolph. 1.
He's inside of 1 minute. He has to call before he continues fishing. Big upgrade for Dave Lefebre right there. You know, the period?
Well, that was, you know, it wasn't the greatest quarter in the world, but I came in here to catch 2 more. I needed 2 more keepers. I came in here and got 2 of them. Got a couple of decent ones too. So,
it's a big one.
You know, he's got to catch some. I'm nervous as all get out. You know, I've been shaking since we got in the boat this morning, and it's not getting any calmer. I don't know if the cameras were rolling or not, but he was drumming on the steering wheel. You know, he's thinking Richland Creek or keep running. Finally, he decided, you know, just to turn in at the last minute. And when he turned in here, I was, you know, petrified again. It's just nerves. I mean, that's the format of this. Knowing that he's got a full hour to fish where we'd already caught 2, you know, well over 4 pounds. Just, I can't explain it. Just feels sickening, you know. Get him out of here. I wanted him far away from here.
After a short stop on the main river, Larry Nixon's returned to Richland Creek. Now, by our estimations, he's down a little over 5 pounds. He's got to catch at least 2 good fish in this quarter to force Dave Lefebre to fish into the 4th. Fish on. Number 4 for Larry Nixon.
Good job.
I had fished the lake, you know, 2 or 3 other matches, and I figured my best option was to come in here and hope I got another great big one, and that's why I came back in Richland Creek. I mean, at that point in time, it was a no-brainer for me.
Fish on back in the boat.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big one.
Dang it, Dave.
Not exactly what Larry Nixon needed to have happen right now. Dave Lefebre continues to catch him out of the back of the boat with that little crankbait. Yep, that's gonna call, I do believe.
After I rode down the bank with my boat scratching. You're too good, Dave.
Fish on. It's a big one. Number 5 for Larry Nixon. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. Any crack of the rod right now is going to make Dave Lefebre fish in the 4th. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. Dave Lefebre catches one on the back of the boat. While he's culling, Larry Nixon catches number 5. We still have about a 3-pound deficit by my estimations, but any crack of the rod right now is going to make Dave Lefebre fish in the 4th.
Come on, big Ann.
With under 5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter, you have to wonder, who's more nervous? Is it Larry or is it Dave? Well, I gotta tell you, I think it's Dave, because with one swing of the rod, Larry Nixon can move right in the lead.
You know, every time Larry set the hook in there, it's just your heart just jumps. You know, he's pitching right up against the ledge. You know, there's shadows up under there, and it's big fish country. And I was 100% sure he was going to get at least 1 or 2 of those big bites.
Moby, you don't know how bad I need you.
Fish on. It's a good one.
Whoa!
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, my goodness.
You know, we're just so used to the way we do things. We swing them in, and usually we put them on the floor softly, you know. And he was thinking about it because he got a penalty earlier, and at the last second, you know, he had to jerk it back to get it onto the front deck, and the hook came flying out. And I was like, dang.
Well, it was just one of them things, you know, when you're used to rodding them over the side and putting them in the floor, which is a penalty, you know, you got to rod them on the deck. And as soon as I dropped my rod, that jig popped out of his mouth, and instead of him flipping toward me, he flipped the other way, and being a little slow, I could not get my hands on him, and he just tumbled right back over in the lake, you know. It's just one of them things.
End of the period.
Time to put them up.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. Now, Joe Thomas is in the boat with our anglers, as Dave Lefebre has a very important decision to make. Joe?
Thanks, Fish. I want to tell you something, guys. This was one of the best 3 quarters of ultimate match fishing I've ever got to witness. It was exciting all the way. But, Dave, you have control in the 4th. This is a very close match. You got a decision to make.
Yeah, you know, I think I got enough, Joe, and as much as I'd like to spend another 90 minutes in the boat with my hero, I'm going to have to call it.
Anybody who would have Larry Nixon, the general, in the back of the boat in the 4th period would pull the plug. Hey, let's take it back to Blue Water Lodge and make it official. Congratulations, guys.
Awesome job, Dave.
Thank you.
If I felt like I was going to win, I had it won, yes, sir, I'd have come to the bank. You know, that's the ultimate match fishing. You don't have to fish all 4 quarters. He had 2nd and 4 because I picked 1 and 3, so that was his option.
You know, if that one wouldn't have fell off the boat, that might have, it might have made me fish, because I just wasn't 100% sure how big that real big one that he caught was. It was close to 6 pounds.
Every match on Lake Chickamauga this season has been great, but Fish, this championship match was truly amazing.
Loved it, guys. Thank you so much for your efforts out there. In each qualifier, it got better and better. And are you kidding me? It boiled down, Joe, to just one swing of the rod, one bass separated, one champion. Who's it going to be?
Well, you know what, Fish? It is really close. I want to start off by saying, guys, it's closer than you thought. It's about 2 pounds. And I got to tell you, Dave, I've been seeing you watch that belt, and you've watched it all week, and you played the game well. And with 5 bass, weighing 1751, you are our 2016 Pelican's Ultimate Match Fishing Champion. Congratulations. Claim your belt. Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks, Randall. Thank you.
Good job, bud. Awesome. Let's take it over to Fish Fishburne. He's with our champion, Dave Lefebre, right now for this week's Frog Togs Match-Changing Moment.
This week's match-changing moment is presented by Frog Togs, designed for you, created for the outdoors.
Dave, tell me about the match-changing moment. And you've got the hardware.
Yeah, you know, it has to be right off the bat, that first cast of the morning, getting an angle, getting that crankbait down there, catching that big 4.5, 5-pounder.
I was watching you.
Oh, it's a big
You
one.
loaded the rod, and then you dropped down. You started moving rods out of the way, and you got all. And then Larry turned around. He's like, "You got to be kidding me! Did this just happen?"
Yeah, when you get a big fish like that with a crankbait, light line, 10-pound test, you got to play it a little bit, and I was just keeping that rod bent, making sure I had room. You know, one that big, you're going to have to get your hand under it and get down there and hand land it. I just wanted to make it as comfortable as possible.
It worked. You're a good friend and a great champion. Congratulations.
Thanks, Fish.
Your champion, Dave Lefebre, 2016 UMF.
I'm Joe Thomas. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Pelican's Ultimate Match Fishing. But it all starts with the coin toss. God, tarse. It's not a tarse.
We could change it to tar. Here we go.
Still got it, don't I?
1, 2,